Hey, hi, welcome guys. Welcome back to our channel, which is Fiveron. Today, I'm going to discuss about some kind of boosting techniques. And earlier session, we had seen what is ensemble machine learning, introduction of ensemble machine learning techniques, and we had seen bagging, how the bagging techniques is going to work. Everything we had seen with the help of the mathematics also. Now, in today's session, we are going to discuss about the bagging, a boosting techniques. So, how the boosting techniques is going to be work, right? So let's try to understand first bagging in the sense of we having some base learner and we having multiple base learner, and base learner will give the output based on their efficiency. It will give the output, and based on their output we are going to do some voting techniques, and whatever vote, whichever having the good number of vote, that we are selecting, that is the bagging technique. But in case of boosting, how it is going to be worked, just try to understand. Let's suppose we have one base learner, this one base learner 1, base learner 2, this have base learner 3, we have this is base learner 4, bl4. Okay, so just try to understand. Actually this diagram is not correct as of now. Just try to understand this base learner. If I'm going to classify this round circle and square shape, if I want to classify these two shape with the help of the decision tree classifier or any kind of classification algorithm, if you are going to apply, so my first base learner is able to classify two square shape properly, correctly it is going to identify. But these three square shape, you can say these three square shape is not classified properly, right? In first iteration number 1, iteration 1, in first iteration my first base learner is able to classify only two square shape properly. Again, what I'm going to do in the second iteration number 2, so iteration number 2, what I'm trying to do, I'm going to focus which shape is not classified properly. I'm going to focus which shape is not classified properly, so I'm going to focus on that shape. Similarly, if suppose you are trying to crack the exam of engineering, so there is a 40 subject incomplete engineering academic session. So all subject, you cannot be perfect in all subject, right? So some of the subject you will be perfect, in some of the subject you will not be perfect, right? So in which subject you are perfect, you are scoring much, you are scoring enough marks, right? And in which subject you are not perfect, you might be get fail. So in order to at least crack the engineering, what you should do, you have to focus on those subjects in which you are not perfect, right? So similarly you can say this base learner 1 can able to classify these two shape, but this two shape is not able to classify. So what he has to do, he has to put some extra effort, to these three square shapes, right? So we have to increase the weight on these three shapes. And in the next iteration, again my base learner 2 is going to, I'm going to give this output to base learner 2, and in this iteration what is going to do, we change the weight. You can see I changed the shape of this square shape, right? Earlier all square shape having the same shape, right? So it is not able to understand this three shape. Now second iteration, what I did, I changed the shape of this three iteration which is wrongly identified. Okay, so what I did, I made a change of shape, right? Now if I'm going to apply my classification algorithm here, so I can say I can see my whole square shape identified correctly, but some of the circle is not identified properly. So what we are going to do, same thing again. So if it is not identified correctly, so again in third exam or third iteration is nothing but number of attempts, you can say, for the examination. So in third iteration what we are going to do, we are going to put some extra weight to crack these exams, these three exams. What I did, I changed the shape of these circles, and in third iteration I can say again, still I can say one circle and two square are wrongly identified, one circle and two square are wrongly identified. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to in the fourth iteration, what I'm going to do, all these three base learner output, I'm going to merge in the single single iteration and in the single base learner board, and now my base learner 4 can able to identify square shape and circle properly. So this is the complete fundamental funda to classify, because base learners, it's a single base learner itself is not able to classify properly. So in order to overcome this kind of problem, we are going to do like this. Okay, let's suppose kind of thing, single teacher, single faculty not able to teach you math, physics, chemistry, right? So in order to overcome this kind of problem, what we supposed to do, we are hiding, we are going for mathematics, we are going for with someone, for physics we are going with someone, for chemistry we are going with someone, right? And at the end of what, at the end goal of all teacher is what, you should crack your 12th or higher secondary or JEE mains examination, right? So similar kind of thing, it's a mathematics teacher, it's a physics teacher, it's a chemistry teacher. Chemistry teacher taught you maths well, physics teacher taught you physics well, chemistry teacher taught you chemistry well. At the end you are merging all these teachers concept and your JEE mains exam, and JEE mains exam you are able to crack your JEE mains exam with the combining of this all these faculties methods or teaching style, right? So this is the complete fundament of the boosting techniques. So how the boosting techniques is going to work, we will see in the mathematics also. Hope you understood this thing, right? Now let me share another screen, just a minute guys, let me share my another thing which I want to show you. Okay, so what we are going to discuss here, boosting techniques. In the boosting techniques, first boosting, as I told you, in boost we have multiple boosting techniques, right? We have if you can go to my previous slide, if you can go to my first video, so we had seen boosting, we have boosting is also known as the sequential algorithm, and complete boosting is categorized into three subcategory. One is known as the ADA boosting, another is known as the gradient boosting, third is known as the XZ boosting. We will see all those things step by steps in depth, but today I'll show you ADA boosting, how the ADA boosting is going to work. Okay, as I told you, boosting is what? Boosting is a sequential algorithm. What do you mean by the sequential algorithm, by the way? Sequential algorithm, nothing but we have the base learner. Just try to understand the overall concept, okay? Rough concept. Base learner, what we are passing the input, and base learner output is going to predict as a 1, but actual it is a 0. But actual it should be 0. So what it will do, we are going to pass this output, to the another base learner, which is base learner 2. Sorry, this should be 1. So now base learner 2 will again start learning where base learner 1 stopped. So it will start learning from there, and it will predict still 1, but it is near to 0. Whatever prediction, probability, you can say probability of prediction is near to 0, but still it is predicting 1. Okay, so now next, again base learner 3, we are passing the output of base learner 2 to the base learner 3, and base learner 3 is this time is going to predict as a 0, right? So sequential, it's a sequential machine learning algorithm, means one base learner output we are going to pass to the another base learner output will pass to the another base learner. Okay, so now let's see. And here one more thing, in case of bagging, each base learner having same weight, but in case of boosting, each base learner will define different weight. That weight initializing techniques we are going to see here. Okay, just try to understand. Let me, okay, 1 minute, let me go to this section. Okay, so what is ADA boosting? Basically, just try to understand what do you mean by the ADA boosting here, guys. ADA boosting is nothing but it's a boosting algorithm. So how we are going to do, let's suppose we have a data set. Just try to understand how the boosting, ADA boosting is going to work. Let's suppose we have this data set. X1, X2, X3 and Y. This is my predicted output. Now this is something, some values are there. Okay, some values are there. Now just try to understand, this is binary class classification problem we have. We are going to solve the binary class classification. So output either should be 1 or 0. That's all, nothing else. Now what we are going to do, this first input we are going to pass base learner anything. Base learner might be anything. For ensemble machine learning techniques, by default base learner will be decision tree. So we are going to pass this 3 parameter to my decision tree 1, decision tree 1, this 3 input like x1, x2, x3, right? And based on this input parameter, my dt is going to predict it as a 1. Okay, wrongly got predicted. So it got predicted wrongly, and what we are going to do, so what we are going to do, as I told you, each base learner having some weight, right? Each base learner having some weight. So initially each learner having uh, same weight, now what we are going to do, as it is not correctly identified, so what I am going to do, I will change the weight. Means I'll change the weight, and with the change weight, again I will train my parameters, again I will train my model with the same input, until unless this sequence operation will run until unless we are not getting 0, right? So we are not, our expected output should be 0, but it is giving 1. So until unless it is not giving 0, this iteration will run, okay, with the change of weight, right? So hope you understood. Now how the mathematics is going to work here, just try to understand. So what we are going to do, just try to understand here, guys. Basically, first we have to consider, let us consider number of training sample. N training sample is what? Number of data rows. How many rows we have? We have n. Okay, we have n number of sample. A number of iteration, how many iteration you are going to perform. So here we are trying to say we are m iteration we are going to perform. Again, in the lifetime, in the real time, you will get some number, not a this n or m. Okay, and now initializing the weights. So initially, what should be the weight we have to initialize? Initially, I told you each training sample will get same weight. So what are those weight? 1 by n. Each training sample will get, let's suppose we have 8 let's suppose we have 8 rows, 8 training sample. So what will be the weight in this case? 1 by 8. Hope you understood. Now iteration, what do you mean by the iteration? Iteration is nothing but how many time you are going to iterate this circle. So that is known as the iteration. So in my case, I took 1 to m. So always start from the 1 and it will end to the n level. Now second step, what we are going to do, in the second step we are going to calculate the error. How we are going to calculate the error, just try to understand. With this formula we are going to calculate the error, guys. So error is nothing but m is the iteration error at the iteration number 1, error at the iteration number 2. So initially it will be 1, so error in iteration 1 will be nothing but summation of I is equal to 1 to n and wi, or you can say it's not a I, it should be probability of y not equal to g of m of x. Just I will explain you, don't worry, don't be confused with these parameters. It's a very easy, guys, very easy. Okay, just try to understand. So weight to you understood, weight is nothing but weight at that iteration. So initially first step, the weight is 1 by 8. Probability of not coming the expected output. So what is the probability that my expected output is not 0? Okay, so that is my probability. Hope you understood. So that, and with that we will calculate the error. Once you can able to calculate the error, then we have to calculate the alpha m value. How we can calculate the alpha m value is nothing but 1 by 2 log of 1 minus e to the e error term divided by error. So we can calculate the alpha m. If you are able to alpha m, then we have to change the weight, right? As I told you, if you can see this diagram, initially we having the same weights, right? Now in the second iteration, we are again training our model with the change out weight, right? So how we are going to change the weight? So initially we have 1 by 8. Now in the next iteration, what will be the weight? Okay, what will be the weight? So just observe here the formula to calculate the formula to calculate the changing of weight. So wi into exp alpha m into probability prr, nothing but y of I not equal to g of m of x. Again, this formula no need to remember, no one is going to be asked. So you only should know how the AdaBoost algorithm is going to be work, right? So we calculate the weight, updated weight. Now again my model is going to train not with this weight, it will train with the updated weight. Okay, it will train with the updated weight, and again it will check the output. If my output, again it will check, and this iteration will run till m time, whatever m we are going to define. Now whatever weight we will get, we have suppose 3 trainable parameter. We have how many training set? We have 3, right? In my case we have 3, right? So we will get 3 weight, w w w. Okay, so we have to normalize this 3 weight. Why? Because it, so that we have to normalize this weight. Why? Because so that the summation of weight should be equal to 1. Okay, so we can normalize the weight. Once your normalization has done, then prepare the next tree using the new weight. Okay, so again with the new weight, we are going to pass the same thing. We are going to pass this our input to the argmax function. If you are going to solve the problem of regression problem, then you have to use the argmax. And if you are solving the problem of classification algorithm, if it is a binary class classification problem, then you should use sigmoid function. If you are going to solve multiple classification problem, then probably you can use softmax function, guys. Softmax function, how it is going to work, that we will see, don't worry at all. Okay, softmax function. Okay, so softmax function is definition itself is saying e to the power x divided by summation of e to the power x, sorry, e to the power this all. Okay, so same thing, nothing else. So what I am going to do, whatever change weight will come with the change output, if it is a regression problem, then we will use argmax function. If it is a classification problem, then probably we will use sigmoid or softmax function, and we are going to classify the output. Let's suppose output is not correct or correct also, then in next iteration again we will change the weight, and again complete step 1 to 5 step, whatever step we mention, again complete 5 step we are going to, let me make it small so each thing will be at the same place. Again 1 to 5 initialization, then iteration will do, and we are going to predict the output. So this will happen till the m iteration, right? So like this AdaBoost algorithm is going to work. We will see coding part also. This is the mathematics behind the AdaBoost algorithm. Hope you understood the AdaBoost algorithm. In the next video I will show you XGBoost and gradient boosting techniques. Okay, meanwhile, thanks for watching this. If you really like this video, then please do subscribe our channel so that never miss our update. Thank you, guys.